For those of you who don't know me, my name's Sean Meaden. I've known Rob for over 10 years now. We met back here at the Newman Center, actually, when I was a freshman in college, and got to become very good friends really quickly. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking right now, how lucky to be such good friends with a guy like Sean. And you're right, Rob's lucky to have a good friend like me. Many of you here tonight were at my wedding 3 years ago, this coming next week, when Melanie and I got married. If you were at the reception, you'll remember that there was a large metal pitcher in the front of the room. Rob held up in the air as he began his best man speech by referring and talking about all the past girlfriends I had, and that it was probably a good time for them now to turn in all their keys to my house. Long speech. So it's probably the best time for them to do that now that I was officially off the market. This good friend of mine had gone to the hardware store and he's got a bunch of blank keys, had them randomly passed around to almost every woman in the room. And at this point in his speech, everybody slowly started coming up one by one and dropping their keys into the pitcher. My turn. As I was thinking about what I could possibly say tonight that would do any justice at all in honoring my friend Rob, so many memories, thoughts, and stories came to mind. Some of them funny, some of them personal, some nobody else would think was funny, some that would make you cry in amazement, and some that wouldn't probably be appropriate to share here tonight. Anyway, there's one story I thought that really captured a lot of things that describe or give you an idea of Rob Spaulding. We've had many, many trips out at the lake, fishing, water skiing, all sorts of boating. And there was one time in particular, there are many, many stories that go on with this, and it was my turn to water ski. And so I'm out behind the boat and skiing along behind the boat. Now I got to give you a little background on this boat. I've never seen a boat held together with everything but duct tape. There were straps and wires and turnbuckles and big hooks and everything that piece this boat together. Anyway, there wasn't a single time, I don't think, a single time that we made it out to the lake and back without having to do something to the boat. To repair it, to get it from taking on so much water. We always had a spare bilge pump in the toolbox, in case it would quit working, because it always took on water. Anyway, I'm out there skiing behind the boat. And we go and we start to curve around now. We're circling back around to go head back the other direction or to avoid a sandbar or who knows what was going on. All of a sudden, Rob's hands get thrown in the air, and I could have sworn I heard him go, ah! And it makes that noise, and he runs back to, I see him grab this orange box, and anybody who's been on the boat knows that's the toolbox. And I thought, okay. Nobody's driving the boat. We're still going full speed ahead. Rob jumps off the seat, which by the way is a cooler because there was no seat to this boat. He jumps off his seat, grabs the toolbox. I see him turn around. He's got a hammer in one hand and a screwdriver in the other. Runs back to the front of the boat, and I hear him go, ding, 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 ding. He's putting the steering wheel back on the boat. Never mind the stop. We got to fix this. We're turning. And Rob's back there trying to find a hammer. Anyway. Quite a humorous story, but it does say a lot about the man behind the wheel. Always prepared, not knowing what's going to happen, but making sure you got the tools and the right thing to get the job done. Always willing to work, even mixed with play and all sorts of fun. And always ready for adjustment, and always willing to take care of the people he loves. I have never met anybody in my life who can take on so much responsibility, be so generous, overstretch and overcommit in every area of his life, and still manage to do everything he does, not just good, but extremely well. The stories are timeless, the memories are endless, and we look forward to building a whole lot more. Now I know Rob always struggled with the thought that there was the possibility at some point that he would not be called to a vocation of marriage, as we all know how great of a husband and a father that he would be. But any of you women out there who are sad right now that he's officially off the market, trust me, God has a bigger plan. This is for your own protection. Have Had Rob not been 15 years old, he would have beat out both Jack Lemmon and Walter Malthoff for the roles of Grumpy Old Men. Nobody needs to come home to his grumbling every night. The reality is, Rob's been called to a life of service that's equal in commitment, and now we're all blessed to be able to have him as a father. People who strive to be their best always find a way to surround themselves with people that they want to be like, and I don't think Rob's any different. He's always looking for ways to better himself, improve himself, further educate himself, and learn from those who are the best at what they do by spending time around them and surrounding himself with people like that. But Rob, I want you to realize that everybody's here today because they want to surround themselves with the person that they want to be like. The church is gathered. The church has called you. You give us something to strive for, and we all want to be more like you. People say we look alike. We've often been asked if we're brothers. I don't think we look that much alike. I have a whole lot more hair than he does. For now. And it probably didn't help that for the last 10 years it appears we've had the same wardrobe. Countless times we'd show up to do music together for a wedding, a funeral, morning prayer or evening prayer while we were at the seminary, music at Mass, or just for an evening out for dinner and conversation. Sometimes we were lucky enough to be early, which was rare. Or, since one of us would often be picking the other one up, the person who was still at home could run in and change really quick. Somebody would come to the door and we'd look at each other. I'll go change. So we started to kind of catch on to this, and most of the time we were both flying in at the last minute and we just had to deal with it. It was a little embarrassing at times, but we finally started to call each other, email each other, text each other to let us know, to let the other one know, what are you going to be wearing? And that started after we were asked for the third time if we were dating. However, nothing tops the time when we came flying in from the lake, showing up just in time to play the downbeat for the gathering song, still wearing flip-flops, grungy white t-shirts, and red swimsuits. Both of us. Thank you, Roger and Carl, for never bringing that one up. We appreciate it. But I'm fine if people assume that we're brothers, because it's hard to find a man with better strength, honesty, and integrity, and I'm proud to be associated with a person like that. Rob, I am so happy and excited for you, but I am even happier and even more excited for the people of the Diocese of Cheyenne and the church as a whole, who will be graced with your presence, your teaching, and your ministry for years to come. We're all very excited to learn and soak in what you have to offer. I am proud, honored, and privileged to be able to call you, refer to you, and know you as Father Rob. But I'm just as proud, honored, and privileged to also know just Rob. And I guess what makes this day so magnificent is that I know in my heart there's no difference between those two men. And if you ever forget that you're here to serve, not to be served, you can be sure I'll be the first one in line to knock you out cold. As I mentioned earlier, Rob was the best man at my wedding 3 years ago. And again, he finds himself as the best man here tonight. Everyone raise your glasses. Father Rob Spaulding.